Welcome to today's video blog. I am the Sorcerer of Behaviour, and today I'll be talking about thoughts and what could be going through your head. Now, there are times where you could probably be your biggest supporter, and other times you could be your worst enemy. And it's always about figuring out when you're one or the other. It almost seems illogical, in fact, that you could probably be your biggest supporter and at the same time on something else be your own worst enemy. You'd always think you're going to support yourself no matter what, but it doesn't always work like that. Depending on our experiences and how we've interpreted certain situations, we could be either or. Like, for example, with myself, when it comes to sports or music, that's where I'm my biggest supporter. I'll try new things and I'm not afraid to fail, basically, and just push myself out there. It reminds me when I was doing rock climbing and I did abseiling for the first time. I just kept going and going until I just got it, and I was just happy to literally just fall backwards and be happy to let somebody else catch me via the rope, and that's, for some people, that can be terrifying, but for me, alright, it was terrifying at first, but I was just willing to keep going and going and going. Same with music. I'm willing to try new things on the drum kit. Even when I go to my drum lessons, I always say to them, give me something difficult to do, something challenging, so I can really push myself and see how far I can go with playing drums. So, but conversely, on the other side, when it comes to things like relationships, that's probably where I find my biggest challenge. My mindset isn't as strong, and I can let things get to me a lot quicker and keep me down for a little while. But, I have used a technique which I'm going to share with you today, and that is really about starting to be aware of what you're thinking, really seeing the thoughts that are coming into your mind as an experience is unfolding in front of you. Now, with these experiences, it's essentially information going into your head, you process it, and depending on how things have gone in your past, that's how you will interpret it at that current point in time. But the good news is you can always change it if it's something which is unuseful in your thoughts. So what I did was, when it came to something like relationships, I caught myself out. I caught myself thinking some sort of unuseful negative thought, and I wrote it down. And then what I did was I basically just split this paper in two columns, wrote down all the negative, unuseful thoughts that were going through my mind as and when I thought them, and I was just noting them down. And on the other side, I wrote what was more useful, what I wanted to think. And then what I did was, it was essentially flipping it, each statement, flipping it, and then I started to read it every morning. At lunchtime, after I'd eaten a meal, I'd read it, and before I went to sleep, I'd read it again. And what I was doing, I was reprogramming my mind to think of all these different situations in a better way. So going forward, if I come in a similar situation within what mine was, relationships, then I'd have a better mindset on how to deal with it and how to interpret it better. And that's what set me up well. And the other thing is, when you've got useful thoughts, when you've got good thoughts, you keep those and you'll be aware of those as well, because those are useful. Those can help you with interpreting these kind of unuseful thoughts, because they're examples. They will help you push you forward to the next level, and it's worth keeping note of those as well. Now, what you essentially want to do going forward is to really, really see the things that are going through your mind and start reprogramming it so that you start to become your own biggest supporter in every part of your life. Wherever you're currently your own worst enemy, you start to push towards being your biggest supporter, and that's really important, I think, and that's what keeps you maintaining a well-balanced lifestyle and keeps you performing well in every aspect of your life. Now, I hope you found this useful and that exercise very useful. Thank you very much for listening. I am the Sorcerer of Behaviour, and just remember, keep thinking big and keep living big. Until next time, see you soon.